Welcome to Destination San Diego, brought to you by Cox Communications and the San Diego Tourism Authority. Whether you're visiting for the first time or you're a native, it's easy to see that San Diego is pretty close to paradise. Boasting perpetually sunny skies, a majestic coastline, and picturesque mountains, San Diego's regions are so unique and diverse there are plenty of places to discover something new. If you're curious about the Top Gun School at Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, or you're craving delicious, authentic Asian food, you'll want to head to San Diego's north side of the city. San Diego is known for a lot of things. Some know the city as a leading destination for craft beer, while others might think of the military when they think of San Diego. And for some folks, our great theater scene or authentic multicultural foods might be considered the city's best feature. Whether craft beer is calling you, or you're wondering what a military fighter plane looks like up close, the neighborhoods of Miramar and Claremont offer some of what San Diego does best, souped up. Join me for a high-performance tour of San Diego along Miramar Road. The neighborhoods of Claremont and Mira Mesa border MCAS Miramar. In addition to being home to the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing of the U.S. Marine Corps, this base holds a legendary place in pop culture. In 1969, the Navy used a portion of this base to establish the United States Navy Fighter Weapons School, more commonly known as Top Gun. The film that this program inspired was even shot right here at this base. You might not see Tom Cruise walking around Miramar, but you can get up close to the world of military aviation. Let's talk with Steve Smith, the curator of the Flying Leathernecks Aviation Museum, to find out more.
The Flying Leatherneck Museum is the only museum in the world dedicated to marine aviation. Our mission and our scope is to tell the history and the story of marine aviation and what it's accomplished since it's been around since World War I. Kids, when they come here, they can see the technology that goes in behind this, the equipment the Marines use. They can get up close and personal to the airplanes, and they'll get that impact that you're not going to get in a classroom.
It doesn't get much more high performance than military aircraft, but head off base and down Miramar Road and you'll find another San Diego top performer, craft beer. The region boasts more than 90 breweries, and you'll find some of the best right here in Miramar. From AleSmith Brewing, winner of numerous awards, to Mike Hess Brewing Company, which began in 2004 as the country's first nano brewery. There are many options to taste the art of craft beer in San Diego along Miramar Road. You can even go beer tasting inside a lab. White Labs is one of the largest producers of brewer's yeast in the US, and you can sample their product from the tasting room while learning about the role that yeast plays in the beer making process. There's another side to life in the communities around Miramar. Let's head south to Claremont, where a melting pot of Asian cultures bubbles up around Convoy Street. Here, you can find authentic Japanese ramen, Korean barbecue, and just about everything in between. As a local food writer for Zagat, Darlene Horn has tasted the best of what Claremont has to offer. So, Darlene, you are pretty familiar with the restaurants in San Diego. What is it about the Claremont area that makes it special for dining?
Well, I think there's so many more elements to the dining area. There's an infusion of Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, and Japanese right in this small concentrated area. It's just like this whole street. You can go from one place to the other and not eat the same thing twice.
Do you find that a lot of folks in San Diego come to this part of town specifically for the Asian food here?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's no other place in San Diego where you have this such big concentration of Asian food. If one place is full, you could just walk over or drive to another place and find something equally as delicious without having to travel very far.
If someone's coming for the first time, they've never been up here, how would you recommend they get started exploring the area?
I think they need to start in the furthest southern part of Convoy and maybe do K sandwiches and pick up some pastries, make their way up north and go to Mitsuwa and explore the Japanese markets and wherever there's a big concentration of cars outside, it's no fail. That is a hot place to eat, and the food is guaranteed great.
So it's a good cue if the restaurant's crowded, if there's a lot of folks in the parking lot, it's probably a good sign that this is a local favorite.
Right, absolutely.
Want to try making some convoy-inspired cuisine at home? Stop by Zion Market to take a bit of Claremont home with you. Of course, there's more to Claremont than just food. This area offers a view into San Diego's diverse Asian populations, with cultural fairs and festivals throughout the year. Each April, the annual Filipino Sun Festival takes place in nearby Mira Mesa and celebrates Filipino-American culture. And in the fall, Convoy comes alive with an Asian night market, featuring live entertainment and lots of food. You don't have to wait for a special event to find great performances in Claremont. In fact, you can become a performer in your own right at the Synergy Dance Studio. Here you can study everything from salsa to swing with choreographer Peter Edwards, who's also the head coach of the University of California San Diego dance team. The team just happens to be the best in the country, so you know you're learning from the very best. So whether you want to take a dance lesson from a pro or taste an award-winning beer, head to San Diego's revved up North Side. For more ideas on how to spend the day in Claremont and Miramar, visit our website, 4sd.com, and head to the Destination San Diego page. We'll be right back. Welcome back. San Diego is a high-tech leader and is celebrated as one of the country's smartest cities. But along with our high-tech future, our region also boasts a fascinating past. This journey takes us back to the startup of a small school, now called the University of San Diego. Jack Gates shows us the campus, then and now.
This sign announces the future site of San Diego University. And this old film from the early 1950s shows how that site turned into the construction site of USD. Now the picturesque campus has blossomed atop Linda Vista, featuring that distinctive Spanish Renaissance architecture.
I think they had the idea that beauty is really an important part of a university setting.
USD history professor Iris Ingstrand says the college started out with 2 buildings then, and now has grown into a university with more than 7,000 students. The idea started with Charles Buddy, the first bishop of the Diocese of San Diego.
He looked around and he thought, you know, we need an institution of higher learning, a Catholic institution.
Bishop Buddy brought in Mother Rosalie Hill and nuns from San Francisco to look for a university site here.
And of all the places that they looked at, they said, you know, Linda Vista is really beautiful, and that would make such a glorious university.
So with donations and borrowed money, Bishop Buddy bought land on the mesa. In 1949, the university received its charter and construction began. The sisters chose the Spanish Renaissance architecture style to honor heritage.
They decided that the University of Alcalá in Spain, near Madrid, would serve as kind of the pattern.
Alcalá was where St. Didacus, otherwise known as San Diego, was canonized. And even with the unique architecture, USD looked pretty bare during campus construction. Dissolved to now, we can see how the campus has changed, but not the design style.
Well, not only is Renaissance the landmark architecture of USD, we've maintained it.
It opened in 1952 with 50 students as the San Diego College for Women. Those pillars and gate are still there, but not the College for Women sign. Because in '54, the College for Men also opened. A School of Law was later added. But in '72, all 3 schools merged, stressing a value-based education. Academic programs have escalated over the past few decades. Now the University of San Diego is ranked as one of the top 100 universities in the United States. USD's landmark is the Immaculata Church, which serves the San Diego Diocese. The dome and tower were completed in '58.
putting the cross on the tower was pretty tricky, and they had to put it on with a helicopter. And I guess at the very end, the helicopter gave a swish of air and almost knocked the cross back off, and everybody was frightened for a moment. But anyway, it all worked out.
Where students worked landscaping the campus in the late 50s, watch the fountain. It's the only thing recognizable now as the campus has grown, literally. And over the years, generous donations have bolstered university programs, like the Jenny Craig Sports Pavilion, the Joan B. Kroc School of Peace Studies, the Donald Shiley Science and Technology Center. It's meant decades of prestigious learning.
If you graduate from USD, your degree really means something. And it means something not only here, but now with our national standing throughout the United States and even in overseas position. When we think about it, 60 years is not a long time in the life of colleges when you think of the East Coast. But as they say, we've really come a long way.
A long way from humble beginnings then into becoming a consummate liberal arts university now.
The USD campus is definitely one of San Diego's most beautiful spots. Up next, Jack Gates journeys up to another scenic spot, Julian, to take a look at the history of San Diego's apple country.
What's more American than apple pie? And when you think of apple pie, you think of the town of Julian, 60 miles northeast of San Diego. Everywhere in Julian there are apples, apples, and more apples.
It's Julian's symbol.
Julian sprang up in 1870, and storefronts along Main Street way back then really haven't changed that much now. The FL Blank storefront remains, renamed the Wilcox Building for the original owner. The apple may be synonymous with Julian, but it's not what put Julian on the map.
We had our own little small gold rush here in San Diego County area, and this is the epicenter of it.
That's right, Julian jangled with gold. Charles Spratley, in Old West attire, gives historic walking tours to Julian visitors.
We're happy to accommodate as many as we can.
He'll tell you ex-Confederate soldier Drew Bailey dug the first Julian gold mine. Bailey's home from 1876 remains at the same location now, the oldest home in town. So why isn't the town named Bailey? Well, his cousin Mike Julian was at the gold mining camp with Drew Bailey.
Drew said that Mike was the handsomest guy in camp, and so he named the town Julian, and after him.
In Julian, travelers needed a place to stay, so in 1897, ex-slave Albert Robinson and his wife opened the Robinson Hotel. It remains now as the expanded Julian Hotel. And while in Julian, you could still relive those gold rush days. And this was opened in 1870?
Yes.
Owner Carl Nelson gives tours of the now defunct Eagle Gold Mine, the only mine you can still tour. Nelson says to strike gold, miners first looked for a quartz vein.
You can see a layer of it running right through here in the ceiling, this white quartz. That's where the gold's found.
Natural gold looked like this, little gold chunks running through the quartz. The largest of the mines near Julian was the Stonewall Mine. Now it's just a fenced-off pit. And during those tough days, a couple of miners chucked it all in for farming.
They tried to get some apple trees and they couldn't get any locally, so they went to Central California and brought back some apple trees.
And eventually, gold diggers like these guys were just a memory. After gold mining phased out here in Julian in the 1920s, what was left? Apples. After the gold boom, apples became the new gold. And because of Julian's climate, elevation, and soil, apple orchards multiplied. And in the late 1890s, tasty Julian-grown apples started winning national awards.
No matter what size the apple is, it contains the same amount of sugar. And because the Julian apple is slightly smaller in size, it is going to be a little bit sweeter than other apples.
The apple has been sweet for the economy. The Julian Pie Company will sell up to 1,000 pies a day during the Fall Apple Festival.
Whether you are about coming up here for the apples or you're coming up here for the history of gold, is the most important thing is that we do try to keep the history alive, because that's what's most important about this town.
Sharing the joys of Julian then and now.
Julian apples really are the best. We hope you've enjoyed learning a little something about San Diego's history. And we'll be back in a minute to show you more exciting ways to explore San Diego. Welcome back. One of the best ways to explore a new place is to get tips from the locals. From the surf to the city and everywhere in between, our local aficionados can give you the inside scoop on San Diego. Let's meet SeaWorld's Stranded Animal Coordinator, Jody Westberg, who shares a behind-the-scenes tour of the Animal Care Center, along with her favorite spots outside the park to catch a glimpse of San Diego's wildlife.
Hi, I'm Aaron Chang.
Hey, I'm Ram Machado.
Hi, I'm Yahya Ling.
Hey, I'm Rick Schwartz.
Hi, I'm Tina Mickelson.
I'm Greg Cook.
Hola, soy Marcela Valladolid.
And we're your guides to the good stuff.
San Diego has the most laid-back, sunny, amazing vibe that you could ever imagine.
A great style of life, a great pace of life. I wake up every day and I open my blinds to see the ocean, and I just go, wow, it's an amazing place.
People are very warm, very caring, and they are open-minded.
Everyone is very accepting, and it's not what you look like, it's how friendly you are, and that's the vibe of San Diego. That's why I love it here.
Vitamin D is really important to being happy.
This is January.
It's very easy to find inspiration in a place as beautiful and as laid back and as perfect as this.
You know, we have such a beautiful beach. You have some of the great music, great culture and museum, and plus more.
I think there's just a little bit for everyone in San Diego.
San Diego is really coming of age. There's so many things going on here. It's now very difficult to keep abreast of everything.
I get to discover new, really cool stuff every day.
It depends on what you like around here. That's so beautiful that you can have the choice.
Yeah, well, look around, man. There's like people walking, running, biking. We have so much to offer, and people are so active and alive and out there doing it. San Diego's happy, and happiness is contagious.
Hi, I'm Jody Westberg, and I'm your guide to the good stuff. I'm a member of SeaWorld's rescue team, and the thing I really love about my job is the diversity. Every day I come in, it's different. You can actually take behind-the-scenes tours at our rescue program and see what a day in my life is all about. Not only are you getting to interact with the keepers in the area, you're getting to hear about the conservation efforts that SeaWorld puts forth for these animals and what you can do to make a difference. We primarily rescue seals and sea lions, but we also have rescued many dolphins and whales. There's been over 22 different species in our history. So that's something I don't think a lot of people really know yet about SeaWorld, is how much we are about conserving the species we work with every day. The animals that we rescue, everything we learn through rehabilitating them and returning them to the wild helps us take care of our animals that live here in the park. SeaWorld's going to impact you in so many different ways. It's not just about the fun, it's about the animals, and you're going to leave wanting to make changes to take better care of our ecosystems. My favorite part of my job is the day we return an animal to the wild that we've put a lot of passion, time, effort, and energy into rehabilitating. It really is giving this animal a second chance at life. The day that comes that we get to return them to the wild, that's the reward for me, and I love it. There's a lot of great areas to experience nature in San Diego, and one of the great things about SeaWorld's rescue program is I've really gotten to know the local beaches. And one of my favorites is up in Solana Beach called Fletcher Cove. There's not only a lot of history as to how that community came to be with that beach that's there, but it seems like almost every time I'm there, there's a wild potted dolphin swimming by, so that spot holds a real special place for me. When I started my career here at SeaWorld, we made history. We rehabilitated and returned a California gray whale to the wild, and the gray whales hold a very special place in my heart. So one of the places I love to take my family, especially the kids when they're here, is up to Point Loma Lighthouse. It's a great area where you can look out over the Pacific Ocean and see the whales when they're migrating by. We can go down below and there's a great tide pool area, and it's so much fun to see the little wildlife and animals that are in these tide pools and talk to the kids, my niece and nephews that have come, about the tides and how tides work. I love to take them up to La Jolla and take them to see the harbor seals at Children's Pool or Casa Beach. So I love taking them up there.
Jody's team at SeaWorld has an incredible legacy. They've rescued more than 50,000 stranded or injured animals since the park opened in 1964. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Since it began in 1970, San Diego's Comic-Con International has grown into the premier event in the world of comics conventions, with attendance topping 130,000 in recent years. Here's a peek at some of the characters you might see when superheroes take over downtown.
I am Chef Darth Vader.
I'm Cobra Commander.
Narnian Centaur.
Leto Fortlet, a female SpongeBob SquarePants.
Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight.
Samora the Enchantress.
Silver Surfer, Herald of Galactus.
Well, my name is Alice, and this is the Mad Hatter.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm actually an actress.
Student. I am also a student.
I'm from Los Angeles.
In the Washington, D.C. area.
From London, actually.
Hello there. I actually work for the federal government.
Content developer over at the Midway. I work for a catering company.
I'm a data analyst.
Painter.
I work for the Department of Homeland Security.
Comic-Con always provides terrific people-watching opportunities. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Destination San Diego, and that we've inspired you to go exploring in your own backyard. You can see all these stories and get more information on our website, 4sd.com, on the Destination San Diego page. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Don't stop chasing wonder while the day brings up. Here comes a sunrise and we'll see the sunset. Coasting by the ocean with some music, turn it up. We got the whole night, 360 days of this. All I'm talking wide, the memories will make you right. That always make you smile.
Happiness is calling at sandiego.org.